And rough.
Alrighty. Right. Let's do a quick recap so we can jump into the game.
Oh boy.
Ready? Last time, run away.
Yep.
That was pretty much it.
Skedaddle.
There was an alarm. There was chaos. The city was pretty much taken over by these two factions of the Ash Gang as they tried to catch us. We made it to the fortress. We met Lady Cecilia, the council member from the Brightlands, newly elected. She's been cracking down on Ash Gang activity lately, but didn't know it was this
Not
bad
enough.
in this city. Yeah. Um, her ship was about ready to go and already had plans to go to like New Haven. So we got to go along with L'Oreal. Uh, right at the end, we pulled into Port Villard, but before that, Killian and Bastion had a good fight.
Real quick.
L'Oreal put a foot down.
Also of
The
note,
cat is from hell.
I feel like it's worth pointing out that the Ash King fucking took over the whole town.
I did say that.
Okay. But
I really
like
did.
raided the castle.
Yep, no, they took over everything. So, yes. The cat is from hell. Chili speaks telepathically. Killian is the only one who did not experience this because he walked out after the fight with Bastion. Also, maybe L'Oreal. I don't know how much she knows about Nemia and Chili. But yeah, we ended up pulling into Port Villard. We're due to potentially report to the council at New Haven as to what we've witnessed and what we saw happen. But before that, here we are. L'Oreal apparently has a safe house.
Alrighty. So.
Killing is at 8 hit points.
That's okay. Come on.
Are we still
Sorry.
good to start with Bastion taking a minute?
We will actually push that towards the end. I think there's a more appropriate spot for it.
Okay.
If everyone's cool with that.
Yep, go for it.
Okay. So, where's the damn music? Okay. I don't know why it's not playing for me, but is it playing for everyone else?
I hear very
like
faint.
water?
Yeah, water noise.
Okay.
River town. Yeah.
That'll do.
Do not hear it yet.
Here we go. Now I hear it. Okay. So, you are pulling into the town or city. City is a better description of Port Villard. This is, the waypoint. Everyone basically stops here before continuing on to New Haven by boat, at least. It is a large city. There's got to be at least 10,000 people living here. So it's rather large. The shoreline is kind of comprised of a bunch of warehouses and shipyards, and this is a heavy trading port city. The So where the ports are on the north side of town, it heads kind of this slope upwards onto the side of the cliff, as the actual to get to New Haven, it's kind of actually this fjord that goes inland. So there's actually the city continues on to not quite a cliff, but it's very steep incline. The city continues up it. You can actually make out a large fortress, kind of right in the middle of town. For those of you familiar with it, several of you are. It's called Castle Stormwatch. It is, it is essentially like the last line of defense from, a naval attack for New Haven. And is also sometimes colloquially known as the Eye of the Storm, given the nature of the layout of the city. Actually, I can go ahead and move you, because why not? Um, yeah, so Port Town in the north, it kind of goes uphill as it heads south. Giant castle fortress in the middle, and surrounding large amount of land. You pull into the docks. There's a lot of hustle and bustle going on. Before you all disembark, Cecilia, Lady Cecilia, gathers you all together for just a quick quick discussion.
Are we the pink dot?
No, that
okay.
I'll explain that in a little bit.
Sure.
Sure thing.
Yeah, so she gathers everyone on deck and says, "So my first council session is it's not supposed to take place until the third star day of the harvest season. So we have nearly 2 weeks before that's supposed to take place. I'm going to kind of mobilize some troops and get words that we can go deal with the situation in accord. I guess my question for you all is, would you like to travel to New Haven with me, as far as where I'm heading next, or I know you mentioned that you might stay here? And she kind of looks out among you all.
When did you plan on leaving?
Within, before the end of the day. Oh, I guess of note, it's noon. It's about noon right now. So,
Will it help you to have us come with?
I can't arrange a council meeting in the next day, so probably not. But
But I mean, to have us in New Haven when the council meeting does arrive, would you rather have us there than not?
oh yes, yes, I would like you there. You kind of have firsthand knowledge of everything that happened. But you're welcome to stay here and travel to New Haven in a couple weeks. It's about 10 miles, so it's not that far.
Yeah, that's actually pretty close.
And is there any chance of the meeting getting expedited once word of the goings on get out there?
That was going to be my next question. Obviously, I'm going to try and push this sooner. So if you were going to stay, I was going to ask, whereabouts can I reach you? And should be. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Come on. So I'll drag it to right there. Everyone can see L'Oreal, right? Like the character sheet? Or not the character sheet, but like the character.
The name thing?
Where?
Yep, right at the top.
Ah, at the top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just dragged her. Okay. There was a specific
yeah.
request. So
Yeah,
I
sorry,
just-
I keep forgetting the name and I'm really trying to remember it.
Yes. So L'Oreal actually chimes in and says, "Well, I do have a kind of a safe house here. If you all were going to stay, you guys could be. You could direct any mail or messengers to the Solari Arcanum." And Cecilia kind of nods and says, "Okay, I guess the decision's up to you." As Cecilia says to the crowd of you.
A couple of weeks isn't very long at all. If L'Oreal's willing to keep us here for that long, then sure.
She loops an arm through yours and says, "I would love to have you."
And we've not had much time to, I don't know, take a step into town yet. Don't suppose we could give you an answer by the start of sunset?
Here, how about this? Cecilia begins. Either you're here by the time we depart, or I will assume you are staying in town. How's that?
Sounds good.
Sounds fair.
Works for me.
And I assume we're given like a exact-ish time of when that is.
Yeah. So it's by sunset basically.
Yep.
By boat it's not that far to get there to New Haven. So they have no. They're not in a huge rush to get there. You imagine she has some stuff she can take care of here herself. So yeah, Cecilia will chime in. Well, she says that, and she says, "Now, if you don't mind, I do have some business of my own to take care of, and please feel free to seek out any of the guards. There'll be one here posted, in case you need anything from me."
Oh, one of your
Sure
guards.
Yes, one of her guards.
Good.
And don't cause any trouble.
Sure thing.
That's uncalled for.
As long as those bastards don't pop up here too.
Oh, do you? She kind of like leans in a little bit. Do you need protection? Do you need me to send guards with you just in case?
No, that was just the condition of not making a mess.
Okay.
At-
Like I said,
At least
if
for
you do
me,
need anything.
the others can speak for themselves, I suppose. Yeah, like glances to the other three.
Messenger shrugs like, I think I'm good enough to protect at least myself.
Yeah.
Maybe send one to stay with L'Oreal. Seems to have a tendency to have a bad time.
You know what?
We do have a guard at the safe house. L'Oreal chimes in.
And
Can we have
how
a...
often do you end up in dangerous situations, Ariel?
Well,
She just smiles all
pretty
the time.
often.
Maybe we give you an extra one.
I promise.
I don't have any
The-
current jobs lined up.
The safe house is just that. It is safe.
And if we needed to get a, maybe not direct line to you, but do you have any, anyone trusted in the town?
This is to Cecilia?
Yes.
Or she thinks, well, you can get a message to any of the town or the city guards. They should be able to relay that message in a timely manner.
All right.
That reminds me. I should probably update. Yeah. And Lena's just going to turn around and start walking off to find a guard. To
Gonna-
find the appropriate channels to send a message to Fainstrahl. Last seen in Jackfruit Junction. She'll-
Wasn't
As
She'll
Lena's,
come back to the group later.
as Lane's about to walk off, Killian will just go, "Hey, where you going?
Gotta send word.
You know the way to the safe house?"
L'Oreal, how do I get to the safe house?
we can send a messenger once we get there and after I show you around.
I don't want to forget this. I gotta get this done. Maybe we stop on the way there.
Can't you make a note? And I'll hand you parchment on it.
She looks at it like with the expression of who carries around parchment.
A bard, of course.
Bastion will pull out some parchment.
Killian will not, and also give the look of who carries around parchment.
Look, you guys may have a perfect memory, but I like to write.
Yeah, there's an expression. She's She'll hand the parchment back and say, "It's simple enough to take care of as long as we can make a stop on the way."
Fine by
Um,
me. We need to see the town
Cecilia,
anyways.
Cecilia will chime in and say, I one of my guards would be happy to take that down for you. You can trust it with us."
Well, I suppose.
It's up to you, or you can relay it to one of the guardhouses in the city.
Honestly, as long as it gets to where it needs to be, then no difference to me.
Okay, then feel free to give your report. And she kind of has one of her guards kind of like step forward and ready
It-
for you.
It is a very informal report, but
Mhm.
it more or less gets to the junction of the issues.
Okay.
Can also say and you're being a lead in the crackdown on the Ash bastards, right?
That was one of my big goals, but now it is the main priority after they have now attacked the Union itself.
Any leads on them in this town?
There has not been any Ash Gang reports this close to the capital.
At
I
all?
don't think they would. They would. Not that I'm aware of. I've only just been in this job for
Hmm.
a couple days now.
And what's the Ash Gang of Port Ballard? What stirs trouble around here?
You would have to, for anything local, I'd have to direct you to local guards.
Okay.
There has been talk of pirates lately. It's a port town. Makes
Oh.
sense.
Never met a pirate.
You're already trying to get into trouble, aren't you?
No, I was just stating that I have never met a pirate.
You can make acquaintance without.
But
Yeah, it wouldn't work with a pirate.
and I'm sure if I went there with Killian, we would all have a lovely time and there would be no chaos. Sorry, I was trying to say Chili, not Killian. I'm gonna be honest.
There's a chuckle from Cecilia, and she just says, "Try not to get in too much trouble," and she'll kind of give a light bow to each of you, and we'll proceed about her business.
Can only give almost a reactionary one in return.
Bastion will just nod and be like, "Oh, I wish you luck if we don't come with you."
All right. Well, at the very least, see you in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
And L'Oreal will still. She will. This time she'll loop her arm through Nemia's and kind of drag you along and say, "All right, everyone, let's go."
Let's go.
And she'll take you up through the port district, through Old Town. You eventually do pass through the kind of main gate in the town, dividing the two sections. Actually, I'll give you a rough idea. Just a rough idea. It is not a short walk by any means.
Hmm.
It is a long, arduous
About a mile,
trek.
jeez.
Get
Yeah,
that
it's about a
cardio
mile.
in.
Mhm. So after a good chunk of time, 5,000 meters. I don't know the translation on that.
That's
I'm doing
like
it right now. Hold on.
6
it is
kilometers, 5 kilometers.
3 miles.
3 miles. Okay.
3.1.
So about an hour later.
Oh, that's why that's pink. Okay, I just thought you had one random pink house on the map.
No,
I'll delete,
that
I'll delete my
is
little comment there.
that is the that is the safe house. So
Oh, it's the house where the party is gonna be. You know what? No, I'm leaving it.
Yeah, that was not incorrect. Okay, so yeah, after about an hour, you pass through the ports, the old town, the kind of more formal area of the courts. You get to the Brim, which is um, it is kind of a lower end area. Um, you'll find a lot of people that are maybe not living in such great shape, but there's still some nice areas scattered throughout. A lot of shops. Um, L'Oreal will point out a few places that she likes to shop at, not for anything important, but just like she likes to get bread from this bakery. Um, a little farther on, even though it's so far away from the port, this particular shop has the best fish. Little small details like that. As she's kind of like showing you around her hometown, kind of deal.
Can Killian grab some meat to go?
Some fish from the place.
And meat, anything.
Anything. Um,
Prefer maybe on a stick, but who knows? Maybe on a bone.
um, at the mention of that, L'Oreal probably will steer you to the fish place, and you can grab something on a stick.
Hmm.
They'll have
Fish
some.
sticks.
Yep. They'll have
Sticks
some
of
stuff.
fish.
Some stuff cooked up all ready to go,
Mhm.
and you can take it on the road.
You just got like 2 or 3 kebabs you just kind of munching on.
Yep, basically. And then after the hours elapsed, you finally reached the safe house. So this safe house, it's not. At first glance, it's not a whole lot to look at. It's not a small building. It has its own outer walls. It has like a small set of stables. It has some farmland, like a little bit of farming area. I wouldn't say farmland, a little bit of farming area.
Big
It
garage.
has, yeah, basically. And then the actual building itself it's a fairly large building. You imagine it has a whole bunch of rooms to it. As you approach the main gate, you see L'Oreal kind of wave up to the tower at one of the corners of the wall, and you see this really heavily armored blue dragonborn
Mm.
kind of like wave a hand down at you all, and you see him do something like he moves away out of sight, and then he comes back and gives another wave, and then L'Oreal pushes on the main gate and leads you um, into the safe house.
As they're walking in, Killian leans over. How'd you get one of those as a guard?
He is the best in the business.
Where'd he come from?
I tend to ask not too many personal questions of people.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so she will lead you all inside, and let me drag the party over. Oop. Oh, L'Oreal's not there. Where is L'Oreal? There she is. And then she will take you all in the main doors of the building. And I'll go ahead and just flip you over at this point, if it'll load. All right.
Oh boy.
As soon as you enter into the main hall, there's this long table, and as the doors open, 2 people come running out of doors on either side. There's one of them looks, long red hair, human, looks kind of not well dressed. Basically, she looks like a servant. And then there is another that is dressed in what could only be described as mage attire. Um, the one in the mage attire runs up to L'Oreal, gives her a big hug, says, "I'm so glad to see you. We heard awful things." And L'Oreal's like, "I'm okay. I'm okay. Thanks to my friends here."
But they're
And she'll-
probably all right.
um, and the friend is like, "Hello, everyone. I'm May." And this is ooh, sorry, I lost my page.
Mm.
Okay. This is Elisa. She's a give a hand around here.
Bastion, okay. Give a nod to her.
Okay, hold on. I thought I had this all set up, but I did not actually set any of this to C.
Oh, there we go. I'll make
Oh,
it easier.
Eric, you beautiful man.
Yeah, because it's show nameplate and then can see name.
Yeah, I didn't do that part.
Yeah. Killian will give
And-
a wave and just, I'm Killian.
Then we also have on the premise we have Cook in the kitchen. Obviously, that's not his real name, but he prefers to go by that. And you all have probably
Alright.
seen Torin. He's the guard. Oh, his name was shown. And then we have Nora in the stables. Doop. Okay.
Bastion's gonna like lean over to Lena and be like, "Do you know if I can legally be considered a sir? If I'm not like officially a knight? Or am I lying if I call myself a sir?"
Lena kind of leans back and says, "Are you an entry-level Dawn Guard?
I was going to be.
Are you?"
Eric, am I?
No,
Okay, I never got that far. Okay,
Then you're
Uh,
not.
you chose a different faith.
I couldn't remember if it was earlier or not. Okay, and he goes, "No, but I'm really good with weapon and I follow a god."
Doesn't matter.
Okay. In that case, I am Mr. Bastion.
May will say, "You guys have probably had a long journey. Shall I have a meal prepared?"
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, please.
And she looks over at I don't know why that name throws me every time.
Elisa?
Lisa, yeah, Elisa. She looks over at Elisa and says, "Can go have Cook whip something up? I'm sure he'll be glad to feed a larger crowd." And she nods and runs off to go tell him.
Killian kind of gives a whistle at the room itself and it's like, so how'd you come across this place?
Lori will chime in. We had a lot of startup money. This was going to be, kind of our base of operations for the time being, and we kind of just stayed here, I guess.
For artifact discovery and recovery.
Yeah, basically. That's the line of work we're in.
And the startup money came from...
I mean, there's money to be made in this type of work.
So you were doing it before you got this place going.
Oh, yes, of course. May and I went to mage school together, and we set out together with a handful of other people to kind of do our own thing.
Looks between them. Who's the stronger mage?
May's like, "Oh, that's L'Oreal." And L'Oreal kind of like she kind of just shrugs. She's like, "Yeah,
You know, Laura, with all due respect, for powerful mage, you are a frequent victim.
Look, it's not my fault they put me in a silenced box. I couldn't do anything. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. I'm not saying it's your fault for any of it. However, when I met you, a library fell on your head. Like this, just
I'm sorry, what?
life just doesn't seem to like you.
No,
Yeah,
let's
a library fell on her head.
Bastion, when I met her, a tomb fell on our heads.
Yeah, L'Oreal, I'm gonna get you a helmet. I'm gonna make you a helmet. Actually, hold on.
We got waylaid by stray beasts.
No, that's not bad.
Hold on. What kind of beast were they? Like unnatural? Like chili? Sorry, chili.
Nothing
Oh.
like that cat.
I guess that's why you guys survived. He kind of goes over to scratch Chili's head.
Chili allows it, but wearing like warily.
He's gonna just like, I'm sorry, I know you're the strongest person here.
May will kind of chime in and say, I take it they'll be staying with us for a little while? L'Oreal nods and says, well, good. We have a lot of extra space at the moment, so you're more than welcome to. So she shows you to some small but separate rooms. So, these 4 rooms are yours, are the parties.
Oh, are you
Nice.
pulling dibs?
Yep.
I was just gonna ask you that, Laurel. What's up with all the empty beds? What's
There's a
work
lot of
slow?
there are a lot more members of our group. It's dwindled over the years, and not as many people flow through here as used to. But you're here now. Killian has claimed
He,
his
he
room.
throws his stuff on the bed.
Bastion will at least drop his backpack onto the kind of on top of the chest.
Yep.
I say, Eric, this is a fantastic map.
It is. I like it a lot. I saw this a long time ago, and I'm like, I had to use this. I have to use it.
Bastion is now in glee with Chili. Okay, why is Chili so big? Now I'm scared.
You just walk
Chili's
in the
not
room and
there.
Chili's there, like 6 feet tall, like, hello, Bastion.
Guys,
Oh no,
Chili is over here.
that's even more terrifying.
Oh, that's
I
why.
think somebody
Let
drag
me-
and dropped.
Well,
Oh, okay. I was scared there.
as a note, Chili chooses her own bed.
Bastion will happily take the floor.
She'll leave room.
Yeah.
But she'll wonder.
He'll sit on the
Chili?
bed and like reach into his bag and pull out something for her to snack on while he pets her head.
Chili is abnormally warm for a cat. Might make a good bed companion.
Slash heated
Fantastic news,
blanket.
Thank you.
Killian walks out. You guys got training facilities on site?
Yeah, we can actually do the tour real quick just so you guys are acquainted.
Fine by me.
She'll basically briefly show you all around the property. So there's kind of a letter message room here. There's like a map war room type deal here. You imagine a lot of plans are made here. There's a storeroom. There's stores of all sorts of books and supplies and materials. There's a bathroom. Like literally, there's a bath, and then there's an actual
Oh boy, indoor
Room-
plumbing.
indoor plumbing.
If only because
Um,
we can see it on the map when they walk in the library. Killian looks around. It's like, okay, is there a secret behind one of these bookcases?
Yes, that we do store stuff.
Wow,
behind
how
here.
did I know? So
But
unlike you.
It's not too full at the moment, but as we get more things, we can keep them safe there. There's on
Linda's
the other.
looking at L'Oreal and asks her, Where's the skull?
Excuse me?
Another horrifying,
Skull.
ominous question.
Where's the skull?
Not here.
Good.
Which skull?
And then she'll just keep going.
um, there's a kind of a smaller meeting room here. The table, maybe for entertaining guests, just in a smaller crowd. Obviously, the main hall, with the stage. There's the kitchen and storeroom to the left, and then there's kind of a if there's a larger group of people, there's kind of this just mass bedroom with a whole bunch of beds in it. On the grounds, there's gardens. There is kind of like a makeshift church altar in the back up top. It is not to any formal god.
Is it
so
a treehouse?
It's this structure, and there's a tree that's kind of growing on one side of it. Yeah. It's not to any formal deity, but they do offer it up to Bastion, as he kind of already said something about
Yeah.
religion.
Bastion might, at that note, be like, any tools that aren't immediately of use or might be broken, if you put them in the chapel, I'll spend today making sure they're repaired and in good service. Even anything that could be just spick and span.
Good to know. And then you'll continue around the property. Says we do have some training grounds here. We got some dummies. We got some kind of a shooting range.
Is that a forge?
That is
I'm
a
kidding.
fully well-equipped forge.
Never
Yes.
mind, bring the tools there.
Go ahead
then
and take a
that
swing
kind
at
of-
one of the dummies.
Yeah, sure.
He wants to see how solid they are.
Mhm.
Reckless. It's a dummy. Who cares?
Yeah, you give a solid swing into it, and you cut clean through most of the stuff on top of it, but you get down far enough, and you feel that there's a good hardy core to each of these dummies, and several of them look like they've taken a beating already, so they're pretty sturdy.
Good. He just out.
Yep. A few more swings like that, though, you might cleave through it, but they're sturdy enough.
That'll do for now.
And then so storeroom to further south of the forge for forging materials, stuff that shouldn't be kept outside. On a corner of each of the safe house is kind of like a tower up, just a better vantage point. And then off of the front gate there is the stables, and you'll probably see Nora tending to the horses, and she'll give a wave to everyone.
Ellen
Bastion
also
will
says
be
hi to
like,
Cook.
Cook is actually excited because he looks like you will eat a lot.
I mentioned the combination of the two bigs walking in are just like,
It's like, yes.
Killian is still like chewing on the like shish kebab he brought like from outside.
Yeah, and then so she brings you back into the main hall, and it's like, yep. So this is our place. Feel free to use it as you will. It is yours now. Well, it is yours to use.
for now.
What do we owe
Yeah.
you?
It's my understanding that you kept L'Oreal safe,
Again.
and L'Oreal's like rescued, but yeah. So you guys are free to stay here. Please stay here.
I mean, if you insist like that, and you got the whole fully working forge, I can't see how I can say no.
That's the spirit. So yeah, Cook will whip up some food for you. You're free to relax for a bit. I imagine you've had a stressful, even more stressful couple days than L'Oreal's had.
Killian's still bleeding a bit.
He brought that on himself. Kind of.
And we can kind of reconvene when food is ready.
Bastion will just poke his head into the kitchen with Cook and go, "Hey, Cook,
Yeah.
Do you want me to sharpen all your knives for you?
My knives are plenty sharp.
Do you want me to take all the bends out of the knives from when you cut a bit too hard in the bone?
Now listen here.
Oh,
I will take you up on
boy.
that offer later. But right now
Good.
I'm cooking.
In that case, can I request just a little bit of brisket in exchange?
Seems fair.
Thank you. He walks back out.
And for the record, Cook is
Huge.
huge. He is a dwarf.
Hmm.
But he is a really big, meaty dwarf.
He's got that
Yeah.
like world's heaviest lifter kind of physique.
Yes. And he is absolutely riddled with tattoos.
Hmm.
Um, judging just by some of them, he was probably a sailor at some point. But yeah, he seems like a gruff, strong fellow. So does Torin, though. So Torin is in this kind of really nice set of plate mail. He's a blue dragonborn. He seems really intense, and even when introduced to him, he doesn't really say much. He just kind of gives a polite bow and
Killian kind of
Yeah.
locks eyes with him for a second.
Torin will return any mean glances he is
Not quite
given.
mean. He's sizing him up.
Okay. Torin is probably doing the same to you. If you want to spar later, just let me know.
He just kind of nods.
Torin doesn't say anything else. And then Nora, you just had a brief interaction with her. She was taking one of the horses out, so she is left for now. And that is that. So you are now free to go about any restful activities while you are waiting for food. What all does everyone want to get up to?
Bastion is going to speak to basically the servants and check all the sheds for anything that could use even the slightest bit of either polishing or sharpening or whatever, and just collect it all in the forge and just be like, all right, time for some practice.
Okay, I'm sure you grab a good handful of stuff to
Found
keep
like
you
the most
occupied.
decrepit, pure rust of a shovel in the shed.
Perfect. Oh, so
And
anything that is
so happy.
unable to be saved, he's going to keep in a separate pile for later.
Okay. You find a good handful of stuff. We can go over exact details later if you need.
No worries.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. If there's nothing specific anyone wants to do, we can just go ahead and
Just
get some food done.
wondering.
Okay.
This river that lets out up here, is this another gate, for one thing?
Yes, there
Back?
is a second gate in back. Yes, but it seems kind of like permanently sealed up.
Okay.
bit heavier.
So there's no way through it.
Yeah, no.
So
You would
I'm
have to
just-
like, there's like locks on it, and it's barred, and it's secured. Like they don't want anyone using that gate.
All right. Does the river look like it gets wider, deeper back there? I'm guessing this is just a little stream that goes through the yard.
Yeah, it's just a little stream. It looks a bit wider on the other side, but it's still just a stream. Like it gets smaller again further up.
How deep
All
does
right.
it get?
So nothing swimmable.
No, it's
Ah.
like maybe a foot deep or two, maybe 2 feet deep. It doesn't get very deep at all.
All right. Lena wanders off. Good luck finding her. She's somewhere in the grounds at any given time.
Killian's going to go borrow some like heavy crates that are gonna be missed,
Okay.
and just start lifting.
Dost thou even heft, bro?
Okay.
Shirt off, Probably do the wolf skin around the waist and just training yard.
Okay.
I love that this is like just the most testosterone-filled right side of the screen. So just Bastion like forging stuff and like Killian just like lifting weights. And I'd imagine Chili just sitting there like watching.
And you're just like slowly plucking a string.
L'Oreal does retreat to somewhere within the grounds as well. May can be found in the supply room, fumbling through some books. After some time, Elisa will go and collect you all, and Cook will just bring out a bunch of different foods, just slabs of meat, veggies, bread, just any. It looks like he took a section of his shelf, cleared it off, and cooked all of that.
Bring it on.
Let's go.
Yeah, so he fills up half the table for all of you.
Bastion's just gonna glance at Killian and pull like 3 plates towards himself.
Killian will take 4.
Bastion will pull 1 more.
You guys can assume the rest.
Yes.
Yeah, Lena will wrestle food out of someone's hands if you guys are gonna hoard it all.
Expect a lot of the meat to be missing on Killian's end.
I'm gonna
Hold
grab
on,
a
does
plate
Killian reach for
and
the brisket?
Mm.
Because Bastion will kill a man.
I assume the brisket's probably like brought next to him. If it was a
It's-
request.
Everyone take a seat. How about that?
Yeah, because Killian is not sitting anywhere near Bastion.
Yeah, yeah. The brisket would be brought to you since you requested it.
Go here then.
I'll grab a plate and I'll protect it with both my arms. Well, I give nervous glances at Killian.
If
Oh,
a,
you're
if a fork
sitting in
strays
between
too
the-
far, there's like a low growl. Oh, Nemia's in the war zone.
Yep.
Oh boy. Yeah. So everyone everyone piles in for a meal, and for a time it's quiet as everyone is stuffing their faces and kind of just enjoying this moment of peace, as the last couple
Quote, unquote.
days have. Yeah, peace.
And then Lena throws a bone at Killian's head.
Oh.
Bastion's like chin deep in brisket right now. He doesn't even notice.
You will return. Just like
L'Oreal-
a rib off something, just flick.
L'Oreal kind of laughs at this, and she leans over to you, Lena,
Mhm.
and you don't notice as she grabs a big chunk of basically mashed potatoes and just slams it in your face.
And then she wipes it off and says, "That is not how that goes.
That's
That
exactly
wasn't
how
fair.
that goes.
Come on,
No.
Bastion,
underhanded.
No,
Bastion
Yeah,
picks
it's
up his
never
plate of
soft.
brisket and steps away from the table.
no,
L'Oreal's just laughing
no.
at this.
You throw bones.
Not the soft stuff. Come on, he just like over a chicken wing or on the side of a side of L'Oreal's head.
It's
It
not
bounces
the
off her
cost.
head.
Bastion's
I'll
gonna
ki-
grab Nemea's shoulder and just like, careful.
You're no fun.
But yes, the bones being thrown at Killian are with some intent to harm. It's not a food fight. This is an
Ah.
actual Viking thing. I'm so sorry.
Yep.
Okay.
Go.
Well, L'Oreal misinterprets.
Yep.
That tracks.
I'll take special care to Killian's blinkies, and once he blinks, I'll cast Minor Illusion on his plate too, so that it seems empty.
Hold on. This is not gonna go well for Bastion, but let's try it. He's gonna. Do I not have investigation? Oh, I do. He's gonna just like stab the fork into the plate, like, where to go? Where to go? Just like beginning of like veins popping in the neck.
thought it was Killian's plate
Yeah, I was
that
gonna
Neiman
say.
was
Oh,
doing
yeah.
that too.
Oh, I thought you said Bastion. Sorry, misunderstood.
All right. I guess I'll make an investigation roll then, as he just kind of like puts a. He'll also just like put a hand down where it's empty.
That's a
Ah.
13, and it matches my DC. So
Yeah, so he just like reaches a hand slowly down, pulls up a leg of a roast, and just chews on it and looks over towards the bard.
damn it.
And then a fork goes over, stabs some of Nemia's meat, takes it.
Yeah. So after some time,
I'll give him a slap and take it back.
ooh,
It's a
Killian,
risky
if you-
blanket, sir.
If you if you'd like to share that with me and give it back, thank you, good friend.
That's still a charisma check, isn't it?
Yeah, he has advantage on the persuasion to do so.
Let's see. Whoops, didn't do it at advantage, but let's just throw it again.
It's a persuasion check, not a saving throw.
Yes.
Right. What is it? Okay, let's just.
Are you proficient in persuasion? Because if so, it's the same number.
Yep, it's the same. So let's take the 17.
What does a 17 do here, Eric?
Roll versus hunger.
I mean, on a base
mean-
thing, 17 is pretty persuasive, but it is against a player, so.
yeah, that's hard to.
However, in a minute, you'll know you were charmed.
Yeah, exactly.
so if you
I'm
wanna
fine with
roll
him
it-
failing, so it's like, yeah, I'm just wondering, like, just quick insight or what?
Yeah, I guess insight would probably be the best.
Mm.
Okay, yeah.
He kind of like narrows his eyes at you for like 10 seconds, and then gives it back.
Thank you. How nice.
And then after a minute, you get like a full rib like in your ear.
After after a time, most of the meal's been eaten, and now you're all starting to fuck with each other. L'Oreal will kind of get everyone's attention. Is like, okay, so I just while you're all in one spot and here, I just wanted to say I really appreciate all of you, especially the four of you that came to my rescue. And you see her struggle for a minute. I'm not fully aware of what all went down, but I'm glad you were all there to help. And you see her kind of like just struggling to find words. And
There's a
you
chicken
start to
bone that
see-
hits the forehead. You would have done the same for us.
At least you're safe.
You see kind of like a tear tears begin to form in her eyes, and like, so I don't think I'll be heading back to Brilton anytime soon. I'm probably gonna stay here a while, and we have a lot of jobs to do, and if y'all are interested, we could definitely use the resources. And she wipes her tears away.
Bastion will like toss her a handkerchief and just be like, "No crying. You're safe now." I mean, it's a safe house for a reason. Stay safe in it. Make sure the people here seem to miss you. Get a chance to enjoy your company.
She takes it and cleans herself up. But about the offer, I am serious though. We could use you guys to help track some things down that we've been looking for. If you're interested.
Depends where and when and what.
And how much?
Well, I'm sure we can get that all sorted out in time. I just wanted to throw that offer on the table.
I'm interested, but you know, going hungry isn't really fun, so unfortunately, there does need to be some compensation of some kind, even if it's just room and board. Maybe a little extra.
I mean, especially if Cook's the one cooking, I'll happily take that offer.
Well, you are all definitely welcome to stay here as long as you want. Consider this your home now. And many of our expeditions do involve tracking things down, certain buyers. So there's definitely compensation. Plus, in my experience, a lot of these, if you have to do any exploration into ancient burial grounds, you might find a few rare things that would be of more of use to the likes of you.
I mean, some people, I guess.
We potentially have a couple of weeks to burn.
Mm-hmm. And that brings me to the my next point of order. So I just wanted to clarify real quick. How much damage did that that attack do, Bastion?
46.
Okay, I just wanted to double check.
It was a lot.
Yes. So, L'Oreal will kind of straighten up and say, "Okay, Killian and Bastion."
Immediately bristles up a bit.
Bastion will just take the last of the brisket and put it down gently on the countertop.
Lana leans back, folds her arms, and watches.
Hold on, guys.
Okay.
I'll be right back real quick.
Oh, this is
Here
gonna
we
be
go.
fun.
Yep.
Can't wait to get chastised.
It's like you guys are getting scolded and I'm not.
I mean, I respect Elena's position here. Just
Mhm.
like, they're in trouble.
Oh yeah. I'm half doing it because of the off chance that what if there's something she's been saving up to scold Lena for. So just that turnaround would be fun. Otherwise it's just, Lena's having a good time.
If this were any sort of show, it's just like, Killian, Bastion, cut to commercial break.
Yep.
Basically. Good timing though, because I am sneezing like a bitch right now, so 1 second.
But yeah, anyhow, the bone throwing thing, actual game, very Viking.
And I knew. Am I thinking right on the other thing you're trying to get at earlier?
Yep.
Okay.
We just need a body of water, which it is possible to swim in.
Mhm.
Because we're gonna do a swimming competition at some point, but Viking style.
A swimming competition. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Well then. Okay. Back to what I was saying.
I may be responding slow because I'm just sneezing a lot. So 1 second.
L'Oreal. Oh yeah. Okay. L'Oreal is addressing Killian and Bastion. You two need to work on not killing each other.
The bar is set so low.
I mean, no one died.
And unfortunately, I was forced to use some magic in order to keep Killian alive.
I would have patched him up.
The damage you did was too much. Too much for him to no offense, Killian, but it was too much. And so basically, in order to save him, I had to transfer some of your life force into him.
There's just kind of like weird look on in Killian's face now.
Hold on, guys, real
Which overall was an unpleasant experience, and again, I would have picked him back up. That being said, I was not intending for my let's say
Wait till Eric
over
gets
channel
back.
like that. Oh, it's in the back.
Eric's
That was
Eric's
just-
gone.
Oh shit! I thought it was just adjusting his mic.
No.
Okay, sorry about that.
No problem.
Okay. So Killian and Bastion, you two need to work your shit out. So I have a special job for the two of you that will hopefully it will restore both of you to normal while also helping you learn to work together.
There's like a chuckle.
L'Oreal, with all due respect, that is the most condescending bullshit I've ever been said to.
You do realize that you basically killed him, right?
Yes. However, I don't think teamwork tasks is the solution to that. I think a healthy discussion might be a better start, and barring that, we just try to stay out of each other's way. If you're gonna ask me to do some menial task with him, I'm of the opinion that idle hands would be better so we both get some space.
Well, it's not a menial task. It'd be really hard. No, she kind of readjusted herself. No, you owe me this. You two need to learn to work together.
How come?
She's kind of just pointing a finger out. Well, I saved your life.
So we're even?
You see her just get these like squinty eyes at you.
understand the concern, but there's only so much I can put up with.
She kind of she lowers her shoulders, defeated, and she just says, "You guys are impossible." And you see her grab some food, and she'll leave, leaving everyone in the chamber. There's kind of this silence fallen across the room. The help will kind of clear out at this as well.
Like Bastion will kind of just sigh, push the chair up from his table, and walk after her.
I'll push Killian. Come on, read your cue, play your part. I'll push him. He's probably gigantic, so I'll kick him a bit.
Nothing from Killian. You just let the little tiefling beat up on you.
And he's just kind of glances over. What?
Go. Follow Bastion. Go to L'Oreal.
What? So we can end up slashing at each other's throats in front of her.
Well, that's one of probably a couple of outcomes that you could go for, but I'm positive that you'd pick the one that's good for you. But there's still that 1 in 99 chances that I use Chili's poisonous claws as a threat. I give a weak smile at this intimidation check for this gigantic monster.
Did you just threaten a fucking Viking with a cat?
That's the best I can do.
Of note,
I'll say
he does not know the
directly
full
to-
context of Chili. He's the only one.
Oh, yeah.
He's been told,
Yep.
but I'm not sure he believes.
Mhm. And he just kind of gives a
He
glance.
did see Chili kill 2 men in like 6 seconds.
He gives a glance and he goes, "So you want me to go talk to L'Oreal about fighting with a party member, and if you don't, you'll fight me?"
Not me, Chili. Or I'll make Chili possess you, and I'll like move my hands towards Chili in secret sign so that she says something weird to him.
Chili does not participate.
Damn it, Chili.
He looks over. By possession, that sounds like grounds for a blood oath of revenge, personally.
Okay, let's do this. If you don't go and talk to them, I'll play my lute all night and won't let you sleep for the next span. That's the kind of threat I can currently make.
And he just kind of
And don't you
sighs.
dare break my loot because I'll use your whatever I find, I don't know, this table as a bongo if I need to.
You're trying really hard, aren't you?
Always.
He gives just a curious glance over to Elena, see if she's about to say anything.
Nope.
No 2 cents of your own?
She's just staring. Now I'm waiting to see what you do.
Enjoying the show?
Shrugs. Wouldn't call it enjoyable just yet. Now, if Chili let loose on you, then that might be entertaining, but as of right now, it's getting kind of dull, actually. So if you could get a move on, whatever you're gonna do.
You owe me a rematch.
Oh, do I? When?
Yep.
Since when am I part of this?
He just shrugs, like, alright. I mean, I can just hit you and you cannot hit back. Up to you.
That's totally different from owing you anything.
Then put it this way. There's
Get
a
lost.
tax
Go
to be
on.
collected. Whether you want it or not. He gets up. Probably make me feel better about whatever shit I'm about to go through. And he walks out.
There you go.
Bastion's already by the chapel with L'Oreal.
Yep.
Yep.
So Laurel has retreated to the Treehouse Chapel. Uh,
He'll just lean against the doorway and be like, "You are you used to being a leader, or are you trying as hard as you can to be? This doesn't feel like your natural calling."
no, I'm kind of a solo act, to be honest. I did jobs with this group. They're friends, but I really do work best alone. Um,
And so you found us, who you kind of trust, and the fact that we don't trust each other bothers you.
it's one thing to not trust each other. It's another thing to practically kill one another.
I wasn't aware my magic was capable of that. I've only ever seen it enough to injure him. I was planning to just smack him upside the head afterwards. But regardless, I understand that starting with a spell that consumes life is not the most friendly way to start. But he's been threatening me and my honor for, as well as making things difficult for the rest of us. Starting fights when he shouldn't. Needless violence. When Nemea was trying to help him, rejected, and I got tired of it.
I understand the difficulties of Killian. I've met the guy. But, you're going to have to reconcile with your god what you've done.
Well, my god is usually silent, but I think their keeper I'll be able to get a talking to from. And I do plan to speak to the keeper. Did I ever tell you how that story went? After you left?
At this point, Killian would walk in.
He walks up. L'Oreal, tin can.
Hey, Wolf Boy.
Are you two willing to listen? Like,
Hesitantly.
what is your plans? I mean, you've come this far. I don't know that you have any other goals at the moment, but I know I could be wrong. You could be off to far off places. You guys, from my understanding, work together to to save me, to track me down and save me. And now that that's over, it suddenly all falls apart. Like, what's
Well,
the
we all care
deal?
about you. We all care more about you than our own fights, but now that you're safe, it's difficult to put another priority ahead.
Working together was out of necessity and nothing more.
See what I mean?
Sorry, say that again. I missed that last.
Your safety was priority. It was a agreement out of necessity and nothing more.
Then I'm safe. What are you doing now?
Working to get to a point where I can not go on the ground next time I take a sword against him.
I plan to get better at my craft and help out the council member. Seems like she could use a hand.
So, my whole business is finding ancient secrets, delving into ancient tombs and all sorts of secret hidden dungeons and stuff. You do realize I'm probably one of, if not your best chance, for learning more, Killian. I don't mean to try and you see her relax a bit. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to force you to stay. I'm not trying to berate you, although I am a little bit.
But you'd like us to stay.
I would like you to stay. I think the four of you could really do some great things if you could work together.
Why the four of us? Or by circumstance, it could have been any number of the myriad of odds and ends you invited to that gathering. We're just the ones who were
Because
successful.
That's just it. You were the ones that
Oh.
were successful.
All of them were there. We're the four who got something done, Killian. Like it or not, we're the quickest actors.
Fate works in mysterious ways.
There's an eye roll.
Fuck fate. Everyone else was willing to witness a tragedy and do nothing about it. Me and you, Killian, Lena, Nemea, we all wanted to get something done and find, as opposed to just let it be another note in our trauma.
You're spitting on the efforts of her friends. It's not their lack of
Maybe so.
trying.
Then it's their lack of success. Regardless, we were the most effective.
Yeah, and there's no luck that could run into that at all. We didn't happen to stumble across anything in that entire time.
I'm of the belief that luck is a blessing of all other kinds. You may be born lucky, born not, but regardless, shouldn't be discounted. If someone's lucky, they're useful to have around.
Yeah, right. Luck happens, you either act on it or you don't.
And we acted.
Because we happen to have it. The others probably would have too, but they didn't get the chance. Just don't go stepping on other people who would have just as well liked to save her.
Fine, then how about this? I have luck. I was able to defeat you from luck. And if we can defeat other things of greater threats because of luck, might as well use it. It's a tool.
Yeah, you think you got lucky?
Yes.
You're shitting
luck,
on
stupid luck.
everything that I'm working for right now. So you're
Congratulations.
making a
I'm
real
happy.
hard time of working together, which I'm guessing is your attempt at walking out here, yes?
Killian, I'm gonna be frank with you. You can be angry if you'd like. I'm trying to make something peaceful with L'Oreal here. I'm trying to make it up to her. She's had a rough time. Her husband was just. If you want to keep arguing with me, go right ahead.
Twitch on the face. You think because you're
Like we
talking
said.
in a calm voice, you're just not part of the problem? Is that it?
No. But I think someone has to talk calm for a solution to be reached. Like you said, we work together out of necessity for L'Oreal. I'm trying to continue to do. If you want to ignore that, that's your choice.
Laurie will kind of step up at this and say, perhaps it is best, at least for the rest of today, maybe, till tomorrow, that you both do separate and get some space between you. We can revisit this in the morning.
Killian,
Sound
you
fair?
Leave it where it is.
Gillian shrugs.
Then we can reconvene later on. If you want to rematch in the morning, just let me know. Under more managed term.
If you're not throwing everything you have at me, you're not worth it.
No, but I'm not talking about lack of trying, but I can at least try to use magic that's less likely to end a life rather than finish a fight.
What I said stands.
Then let's wait until we're both stronger. Laura, if there's anything you need me for, I'm going to be working in the forge. If you have any tools or anything you want me to repair or make, just let me know.
Okay.
And he'll clap Killian on the shoulder and walk away.
L'Oreal probably sees Killian just like close the eyes for a second as he walks off.
Mhm.
After he's kind of like gone away, I'll work with him.
You don't have to like him.
Oh no, I explicitly don't. But to be frank, if anything gets him killed out there, that's gonna put a bit of a spike in my plans.
Oh, so then you will try to keep him alive. That's good to know.
Oh yeah, if anyone's killing him, it's gonna be me.
Ah. Alrighty. Well, I think I've had enough for today. Just seriously try not to kill each other. And she'll leave as well.
If you want to give him a lesson, maybe let him know that insulting family names isn't the best to go with my kind of people.
That'll be another step.
Don't take his word only. He walks back.
Yep. All right, guys. We're gonna take like 5 minutes ish.
Sure thing.
Sure.
Alrighty.
Sure thing. Devin, someday we just have to play like childhood best friends.
No, it's
Something.
not gonna work.
You tried that. Remember Richter and Evander? They were all supposed to be like childhood friends, and yet
Yeah, but Evander had a hard time even getting along with Nessa. An angry wolf could get along with Nessa. Come on.
Angry Wolves did get along with Nessa.
Exactly.
I'm
Evander
sure
isn't
Killian
good.
would like her too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we know Bastion likes her, so.
Oh man.
Although I do like the if anyone's gonna kill him, it's me. I thought that was a fun character relationship.
Hmm. Bastion is the wall in Killian's way. Something to work towards.
Say again, sir.
Bastion is the wall to Killian, wall standing tall. Something to work towards, work against.
Bastion's just stuck being in his older brother mindset of like, okay, I have to punch him in the face. I have to make sure he doesn't cry to mom after. To a more extreme equivalent, of course.
Punch.
He's like,
Oh
okay,
no, oh no,
he's-
oh no, I'm sorry, don't tell mom.
Exactly. It's like I don't want to fight him, but if I fight the wrong way, I have to make sure it's the proper way. And she's like, fuck, I'm gonna go make a knife.
Yeah, that's not worrying at all.
It's how he relieves stress.
Just wait till the health pool starts being further apart.
Oh, I know.
Enjoy
Trust
it
me,
while it
I don't-
lasts.
I'm aware. Don't worry. Oh, just wait till you're swinging an axe at a Bastion mate.
No.
All right, suit yourself.
He likes his sword made in his homeland.
It's a longsword, right?
Yep.
So if Bastion made you a shield,
He has his own shield.
but if I made you a shield that had cool spikes on it,
Eh.
if I made a shield that could reflect light into someone else's eyes,
Eh.
if he augmented your shield,
Eh.
bastard. All right. He'll just have to equip Lena for the rematch.
Look, if you want me to accept your gift, don't fucking crit me on a inflict wounds.
Like I had a choice. Also, I didn't know the crits were all maxed. Good lord. Yeah, that was quite surprising. I'm like, oh yeah, if I get a crit, it'll only be like, like 30 damage or something. That's about what the average comes out to. 46.
30
Oh
is
no.
still his hit points right now.
Right, but it's not like anywhere near the risk of insta kill. Like if I hit 46 on myself, I would have insta killed myself.
Hmm.
So.
Nemiya better be careful. Nemiya's on the path to, hey, wanna fight?
Yes,
I don't think so.
I just want Killian to get the whole home run of fighting all the teammates.
Oh, the complete run. I mean, I don't know how you can match my DCs, but I've got a whole lot of a nice repertoire to run away while you're doing something else. At least I have 3 spell slots to try Tasha's Hideous Laughter on you and just run.
Something tells me Kellyanne wouldn't enjoy it.
Yeah, because
No.
here's the thing, is the fight doesn't end there.
No,
You
no,
have health, he has health. Run it. It's it's in the same way of like a wild animal. You run away, you're basically inviting me to chase you.
We'll work on it. We'll avoid it. Or else I got a disposable furry grenade
Grenade.
I can throw at you.
There's a little pin on the collar you pull.
Man, I just so bad want like Bastion to make the equivalent of a macaroni art project of like, hey, I'm sorry I almost killed you. A knife for bat killing or something like that. Or like a really shitty birthday cake with like, sorry I almost ate your soul.
uh,
All right.
Hello.
Hey.
Is everyone here?
Yep.
Yep.
I don't think any of us left.
Isn't it?
Well then.
I don't hear Nick though.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
true.
I was gonna say.
Oh wait,
isn't
there
it?
he is.
Oh,
Yes.
there he is.
Yep.
Okay. Alrighty. So, after that exchange, looks like L'Oreal retreats to her room for the rest of the day. It's mid-afternoon. Um, you are all free to get up to whatever activities you want to for the rest of the day. I imagine there's no big plans at this moment, given you've got a couple weeks to wait.
Killian's got a real check quick if you can. Check in the library.
Okay.
Any books on like fighting stances, forms, warriors, stuff like his kind of
Wa-
books.
The,
Warrior
the king
stuff?
in me is so proud.
No.
Hmm.
There's no warrior stuff. The closest you get is you find some, probably some books written in Valian about like history,
Mhm.
so like a history of some battles, and just stuff you already know pretty much. Yeah.
All right. After like giving a quick scan of like all the spines, he'll just give one more check. Anything on monsters?
There is several things on monsters actually.
All right. He's gonna make a wish list.
Okay.
Is this Killian's bucket list? I want to fight this and I want to fight that.
What's like the opposite of a bucket? It's like I want to I want to kill these things, not like I want to do these things before I die. I want to make these things die.
It's your kick the bucket list.
There you go. I like that. Okay, yeah, you find an assortment of creatures, some that you've probably seen before, like there's probably some books on common stuff. And then you find some really weird creatures on the list or in the books.
I think he might learn about like how to fight.
Any of the really weird stuff is more of a if you type of deal.
More of a if you.
If you see this, run.
Hmm,
That's for anything of any of the really weird stuff.
uh,
And even some of that stuff, it's vague descriptions, like vaguely. There's this long creature. It's not a dragon, but it's got scales. Stuff like that. Like it has vague comparisons to other creatures, and you know
is there any of them that are like? Does he get any of those like very much do not do this thing kind of monsters? Medusas, except like the Medusa kind of setup of like this one weird trick.
No,
Monsters hate it.
no, actually, from what you have, you got this. It's not the type of information that L'Oreal or May has been collecting.
Hmm.
So maybe something you can expand upon.
He just kind of like closes the book and just puts it back. Might do a quick jog or two around the compound, and then he'll head in for the evening.
Okay. Nemia.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, Chili will, start talking with you. And she says, "Do we trust these people? Are we going to stay with them?"
Do we trust them? Can we trust them not to kill each other and apparently maybe me in the near future? Not really. Will this make for a probably good array of songs in the future? Probably so. So we might stick around and see how it goes.
Head pops out of the
If
door
you wish.
nearby. You talking shit?
Always.
At least she's honest.
Yeah, Chili says, "If you wish, I am have not been around this many people in a while. It's a it's different. At least it's not the circus.
Come on, it wasn't that bad.
I am pretty sure that someone tried to dress me up at one point. It was bad."
You were adorable. But you did claw the heck out of that guy, and he's probably still in recovery, so the circus is not an option for now, so don't worry.
Well, I've got my eyes on those big ones. I will not let them harm you.
I'll scratch her head. Thank you as always.
And then she says, "Enough. I'm gonna go look around." And she hops off. She hops down and wanders off.
Bring me a present.
Dangerous
Uh,
thing to ask a cat normally. Never mind a cat from hell.
Right? You come back grabbing like a toddler by the neck, like, oh shit, no, not what I wanted. Bastion, while he's forging, is going to try to like basically use the rhythm of the hammer to begin to try to contact the Divine Forge or Netza.
All right, where are you doing this?
Just in the forge, he's just like while he's working on the objects, trying to get lost in the haze of work. Oh,
Someone is yelling for me.
Yep.
Okay, hold on.
I just want Eric's kids to know that I would kill for them. They seem like such sweet children.
Any other secrets on the map we should look out for? Doesn't seem like room for much.
Not really.
There's
Just
that
wait
tower
till
over
you
there.
Oh, darn kids.
Yeah, but they're so sweet.
Okay. What was going on? Oh, yes. Is everyone ready for that conversation?
Sure.
Mm.
Is Nessa ready?
Probably.
Okay. In that case, really?
I like to imagine that at one point in the past little while, Eric heard that sound and was just like, another!
Ugh.
Oh no.
I'm wondering if it's a variation of like OP or something like that, or okay, just real loud.
I'm not sure.
Might be open. Like open the door.
Open.
Yep.
OP.
Open the jar. I don't know. I'm trying
Unless
to
it's
open
like a
something.
Nordish child. OP, like
Mhm,
father in I don't know what language.
maybe.
Op, I don't know.
I do also like the idea of Eric being referred to as OP by his children.
Yeah.
It's just very funny to me. Just
OP.
up.
In Greek, it's Apopus, but that's grandfather.
I just want to give those kids little hugs.
OP
Seems so
instead of Appy or Pappy or something like that.
Could be.
Oh, my brain full on jumped to like OP, like on top of like original poster.
I figured.
Hey.
Is Pappy like a Greek one?
I don't know.
Yeah, because I had a Pappy.
Yeah.
I don't think they were
Greek one?
No, I don't think they were Greek.
Pappy
According
might come
to-
down through English as well.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, my grandmother, she was English.
Oh,
She was nanny.
Annie.
I had a Nana.
I had a Nana.
I have a nonna.
See, that's the angriest thing about Maltese.
Okay.
It's like all of like. Oh, there we go.
Bribed with Monsters Inc. and hopefully that lasts for longer than 5 seconds.
Hmm.
Okay. So, Bastion, you are at the forge. You fall into your normal routine. You're just working on things in your own way of communing. And after a time, you realize you're no longer where you were. You find yourself once more at the at the Starforge,
Okay, continue
and yep.
hammering, waiting for someone to come by.
Yep, and you hear another another clinking of metal on the opposite side as there is a familiar a female halfling working on something else of her own.
Oh, it actually worked.
Oh,
Other than that,
hey!
hey there.
Oh, it's been a while. How have you been? She immediately puts her stuff down, goes over, and gives him a big hug.
Yep, then he'll look at his bones squish for a moment, and then like, all right,
Lifts
careful
him
with
off
those
the
muscles.
ground slightly, and then puts him back down.
Oh, nice to see you again. He kind of like pats her on the shoulder, like, still as strong of arm as ever. I've been
Well,
using
yeah,
it for
that's
so
not
many
going to
years.
change.
Fair enough. This.
So, what have you been up to?
Okay, so I have to ask. I know you're not technically my god, but are you able to like watch my movements and judge my intentions like people say some gods can? Like, does looking into the Starforge do that for you?
I haven't really tried. I mean, I could next time you go out.
I'll leave that up to you, but no huge need. I'm just
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. I'll let you know next time we talk.
great. That'll be wonderful. It kind of like mutters to the Starforge, like, "Oh, please don't let her see anything terrible." I have to. Can I ask you for advice? Not on forging. Well, forging bond, technically, I guess. Is that part of your realm of expertise?
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Really?
Come on, sit down.
Sure. He'll sit down and he'll place the piece he was working on where it was. And just kind of. So I don't know if you've ever had to deal with something similar before. You said you'd been not immortal the entire existence you've been, but I have someone who I'm trying to get along with, but he's really just angry all the time and doesn't seem keen on having friends. Have you ever dealt with that?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
I had a really good friend. His name was Evander.
That sounds like a shitbag. How can anyone be mean to you?
No, No, he was fine. He had a lot of difficult. Well, I don't know. He. I think that he could have been better than he wanted to be. Does that make sense?
Kind of like he wasn't shooting high enough.
Kind of. I mean, he was great. It's just sometimes he just didn't seem to want to try very hard. And so I had to like remind him that, oh, Evander, you're better than this. Come on. And you know, he'd try.
Did it work?
Pretty
he end up-
much.
Oh, good. By the way, can I have Bastard Wolf history to know that name Evander? Because Evander's a king now, right?
Yeah, actually, I think that would be, that'd be up your wheelhouse. Yeah, you'd know that.
Oh, okay, he kind of goes like, do you mean King Tallstag?
Oh yeah, if you want to get formal, pretty much.
Wait, hold on. Isn't he only like 100 or like 70 years old?
She counts on her fingers and then gives up. More or less, I guess.
How? I thought, aren't you a god?
Yep.
Okay, we'll get back to that question.
Yeah, a lot of crazy stuff happened. There was this Titan we had to kill, and yeah, it's a long story.
And King Tallstag was a part of that.
Mhm.
He's like a twig.
Now, don't discount twiggy ones. He could shoot really well, and when he got sneaky, oh boy, he got sneaky.
Oh, archers.
Yeah.
Alright, fair enough.
No, it's always good to have a scout around.
No, I know, just not my style.
Hey, not everything has to be your style.
I mean, it's kind of, I think, the issue I'm having right now.
Okay.
Because
So, have you got a scout that you're arguing with, or?
less of a scout, more of a bloodhound.
Okay.
We had an argument, and and he kind of like flexes a bit of the necrotic energy that he could do with inflict wounds. And I think I almost consumed all of his life force by accident.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah,
Why-
but he insulted my family, my nobility, and has been insulting me for multiple days now, and I just couldn't put up with it anymore, you know?
Okay. Sometimes when Evander did things, it's because he didn't know any better. Sometimes he was, I guess, kind of acting out or retaliating or something like that. So I guess, does he know that he's insulting your family?
Yes, he's very aware of it.
Okay.
But then I
Is
insulted
there-
his family back, and apparently it's a fight.
Oh. Okay. Okay, so it's just kind of the whole tit for tat thing? You know, one
Yeah,
person says one thing, one person says another thing, and it just kind of snowballs worse and worse. Next thing you know, you've just got a lot of snow and it's not fun to deal with.
That's a pretty apt analogy. Honestly, I think I should just smack him upside the head whenever he's being a prick.
But you already tried that.
Well, I mean, he stopped insulting my family.
Hmm. I mean, how long has it been?
A few hours.
He might not have stopped.
I
Okay.
feel bad for the fight. It seems to stress out someone else. I don't want to argue with him, but he's abrasive.
Hmm.
Violent.
Have you told him that?
Yes. Less kindly.
Maybe try kindly. Have you told him how much you actually care?
No.
That usually worked for me with Evander. Evander just sometimes needed to be reminded that there were people around him who cared about him and he wasn't all alone in the world. And you know, he could be a good person if he really wanted to be and tried and And we wanted him to be a good person. And that kind of made him want to be a good person, I think.
Okay, I
So
think I can try that.
I'd say maybe if the smacking didn't work, and it might not have worked, try being nice. Make
Okay,
sure
yeah, I
that
can do that.
yeah, make sure your friend knows that you know this is the best person he could be. And he'll probably live up to that. At least I think so. People always want to do that. Well, most people.
Okay, I think I can try that.
Yeah. Yeah, let me
Also-
know how it goes.
Secondary question. I have this twisted scythe blade I'm trying to straighten out. Do you have any idea how I can work on that?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Is it like iron? Is it steel? How many times was it already originally folded? And it just goes from there.
Yeah, just
Okay. Yep. So you dissolve into discussion about forging and whatnot. After a time, yeah, go for it.
as part of this, can he use this as a chance to use his artisan's blessing? Basically, take an hour and with the scrap metal that was unable to be saved, create something out of it, as well as with the short sword he already repaired.
Sure.
He'll basically forge a simple bladed knife with no real hilt to it, heavy blade, and in the I want to say the crosspiece, basically a snarling wolf face, just plain steel, but heavy and sharp.
Okay. Yeah, that's reasonable enough. You are able to do
Okay.
so.
And he'll kind of create that. I assume it's part of the conversation at the Star Forge, effectively, and when he comes back, he's just holding it in his hand.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, basically, but as you're finishing this piece, you find yourself back here.
Okay. Nod. All right. Just be nice and tell him how much he means. I'm sure that'll work perfectly. She's a god, right? She can't be wrong.
Good luck.
And in the meantime, he'll start creating a scabbard knife.
Yeah. So uh, probably it's probably approaching sundown by this point. Um, you guys have done your restful activities and kind of gone about your business. Cook has already started on a meal for the evening, and once that's done, you'll all be summoned once more to eat dinner. L'Oreal does not attend, um, but you're all able to eat your meals. Um,
I might like
cook.
tap May on the shoulder.
She says yes.
Well, what happened to the one obviously missing?
Are you talking about L'Oreal?
Yes, I'm talking about L'Oreal.
Okay.
He points to the empty seat across from him.
Oh yeah. She had some. She just wanted some alone time, which is understandable after everything that's happened.
Did she eat?
I don't know.
He grabs a plate, loads it up with a bunch.
Okay. Are you just setting it aside, or
No, he's after he's loaded up, he's walking over to her room.
okay? So you don't actually find her in her room. Um, you find her. Oh, geez, where'd I stick her? Did I delete her off the map? Oh no, there she is. You find her in the map room, and you see that she's got a bunch of scrolls set out. And oh dang it, it's doing that thing again. Why is it doing that? Okay, a bunch of scrolls set out, and she's just poring over documents.
Knocks on the door.
She doesn't answer, but it's not locked.
Opens the door. Hey,
And she looks up briefly with all these papers. She's like, "Oh, yes."
you don't have to deal with me, but Cook will probably be mad if you don't have some of this, and he puts it down on a table nearby.
She says, "Oh, thank you so much."
Waves and walks out.
She goes back to her business.
You might pause, turn around. What are you doing?
Well, I had a few plans, kind of waiting before I took off for the wedding, so I, brought them out and kind of seeing what I should do next. Keeping busy.
Lining stuff up for us?
For you, for me, yeah.
Sure you should be heading out so quickly after the last ordeal?
I think I'll go crazy if I stay here.
He like tilts his head. It's like, I mean, it's bigger than a box.
That is true. That is very true. As she kind of, but
Up to you. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
hold your back or nothing.
yeah. I mean, I like to be out there doing things. So
I know the exact feeling. I'm not gonna fault you for it, just
there is actually something of interest that you might like.
raises an eyebrow.
There is supposed to be some. New Haven was, there was originally settlements here, generations upon generations ago. I do believe that there was an old Valian settlement somewhere in the area. I've been trying to lock it down. Nothing yet, but
We talking like old ruins or like a village?
um, supposedly it was a castle of some sort. Um, I don't have any more than that right now. Still working it out, but I thought you might be interested.
Yeah, keep me up to date.
Will do.
That'd be good to know. And hasn't been a hunter making a name for himself recently, has there?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't really. That's not my circle, though.
Right. Yep. Just yeah. All right.
There are some members of the Arcanum that specialize in information gathering. I can reach out.
Well, figure it out tomorrow. You've got enough on your plate as it is. And he points over to the food.
She's like, oh, yes, and she kind of absentmindedly grabs a piece of bread and kind of begins chomping on it.
All right. Have fun. Yeah, it's back.
At that point, Lana bumps into Killian near the door and says, "Oh, hey, I was thinking of heading out, seeing what the town is like. Do you want to come and check out the taverns,
Tilts ahead. It's like, what's
or
the
are you
occasion?
still a little lightheaded from that hit that Bastion dealt you? I won't fault you if you have to stay behind because you're a little weak on your feet."
I'll save money on ale by having less blood in me. Let's go. And he just shoves her out of the way and walks by.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay.
Once
Was
he's
he-
tipsy. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, what does Nemia get up to? Do you tag along or?
Yeah,
Yes, I
anybody's
will.
welcome.
As soon as I hear the word tavern, I'll hop out of my room and straight over there.
Yeah, sure. You can come along too. More the merrier.
So we're going to the one place where we can get fighting again, or Actually,
Not really part
become
of the plan, but we'll see what
1%.
this hothead does.
I mean, it can always be part of the plan.
Eh, there's always tipping point when it comes to ale. From what I've seen from the stage, there's like a tipping point for rage and a tipping point for utter friendships. Let's see if we can get the mix right.
Um, do you wander until you find one? Do you kind of look for
Did
something?
L'Oreal point any of them out to us on the way?
So she probably pointed out a few things in Old Town. Probably nothing in the courts. And you might have passed by one in the Brim. So
The closer, the better. Lana isn't interested in walking for 3 miles to find a thing and then walking 3 miles back.
Yeah.
Drunk.
yeah,
Mhm.
you could probably, a handful of streets over, maybe somewhere in here you can find an establishment that is it's not very large at all. Um, it doesn't even have like a formal sign on it. Um, at first glance, it looks like a shop. So like there's like a shop built into one side of it, and there's like general like various general goods, but there is a door that goes inside that has some tables set up, and it looks like they serve some food and drinks here as well.
Oh, so we just found the Cracker Barrel of taverns.
It's a small rundown place. It looks like someone has a very broad business scope.
Killian looks up the crouton cask. Weird name.
Yeah, I think they could do a little better, but oh well. Let's find out what they're like.
There's a couple people in there, and they're very not seedy, but it's like
Rough.
it's rough. It's the grumpy people at the end of the day that are just like
That kind of
they're
trucker feeling.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. There's just a couple of those in this area. I mean, there's probably only like 12 tables in the whole place. Not very large at all.
Not Kai and Killian, who's the biggest guy here.
And there's a kind of basically there's an average. He's a strong human, but he's average, definitely when compared to you guys. Probably middle aged. You can see his hairline starting to recede. Human. Don't know if I said that. And he seems to be he's cleaning up some stuff in like where he's selling things, and he sees you comes in. He's like, "How can I help you, folks?"
Lena's just there to. Eh,
Killian looks over.
She's
Your
not after,
idea
like-
is lay the
she's
path.
not after the whole like role play. I'm not after the role play thing.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Drinks it
Lena,
is.
yeah, Lena puts her order in. I don't know anything else.
Yeah, you can order some drinks. That's fine.
Okay.
Keep them coming.
And she's gonna wait until Killian is looking a little tipsy.
All right.
It might be a little while. I think he can hold his drink.
Constitution check.
Probably.
Yeah,
However, he is sitting at like 8 HP,
sure.
so I'm hoping that might shorten it a little bit.
Yeah, give me a
12.
couple more.
All right. 2, 3.
There you go. 3 strong drinks in. He's starting to. And
And just mid conversation, she's just gonna. So, what was her name?
What?
Yeah, whoever you know for 10 years, and then got what? Betrothed, engaged, same difference. She tops up his drink.
He looks around and realizes the trap he's walked into. What do you want to know?
Curious.
Can I say we picked a specific place where it's super awkward for him to walk out. he would bump many people.
He like leans over and glances over. You think I give a fuck? So what? Just curiosity, something to hold over me?
Depends on the answer.
How about you start then? What's your history with the with the guard?
Joined the guard, became a captain by accident, quit the guard. Now, what's her name?
No. What's the accident?
I think I asked first.
Yeah, and
Come on, I gave you something.
why do you want to know the name?
She shrugs. No real reason. I just figured that would be a starting point of some kind for question and answer. What, do you want me to ask your entire life history on that point? Could have done that. The
Yeah.
name is a small, simple thing that might mean nothing to me. Probably does.
He kind of like scrunches up his face. Vera. And he takes a long drink.
So, for note-taking purposes, that's Vera, V-I-R-A,
Vera.
or V-E-R-A. Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Eric.
Nope, sounds good. I don't think it's ever been spoken aloud, so we'll go with that.
All right.
As for the accident, there was an incident. I think it was some drunk with a knife, and the former captain was the one dealing with it. He got unlucky. There wasn't anybody else of any kind of rank, and some other stuff going on, so I just picked up the reins, and next thing I knew, they were wrapped around both my hands.
He's kind of like narrows his eyes, like, okay, I give you a concise answer, and you're just going, some things happened, and he was a bit busy. Can you give specifics?
Eric, what were specifics? Because all I have is an incident killed the former captain.
Let's see, what did I put?
And some higher ranking guardsmen, and Lena filled the gap. And then it stuck. So I don't actually have details.
Oh, that would be my fault for not conveying those. I thought I did give you a little more than that, though. Let's see.
That's all I have written down. In fact, I made up the drunk with the knife bit because I didn't know if anything important was actually there.
Ah, here we go. So it was actually there was a kind of a riot that happened
Okay.
in one of the cities.
So a lot of drunks with knives.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it
There was
was.
one drunk in particular.
There was people were unhappy with the current state of things. It was a lot of people that had been recently put out of work or just lost a lot of money to the current government and were not happy with current situation. So they led a riot. A lot of people were injured. A lot of guards. A lot of the captain was killed. But I think a line got drawn with actually a handful of innocent people that got hurt in the process. Lena kind of stepped in there and took charge of the situation, and then was thrust into captainhood.
So she'll pretty much say there was a riot. A lot of unhappy people. Things got really hot, boiled over, and next thing you know, the captain and a whole bunch of other guards who were probably closer to that point than I was at the time got killed in it up at the front lines. I took over handling things, and yeah.
And you just chose to, huh?
More like someone had to and nobody else was stepping up. I think they were kind of spooked, you know?
So you're thrust into the position.
Pretty much. More like I picked it up, but I didn't expect it to stick. I thought it was just going to be, I handle things while nobody else is available until somebody comes in from maybe another city, someone else is promoted, but when it all wound down, guess who got the badge?
As she gives that explanation, there's just a little bit of a frown goes on his face. Alright then.
Alright, what's that about? And she's going to incite the frown if I can. What's that face?
What's her insight?
16?
I mean, I'm fine to just say, and just look over and just like, nah, just jumping to thoughts in my head. Disappointed myself, that's all.
Huh.
And he just kind of like rubs his face. Okay, one more from you then.
Right?
Is
Where-
Nemia just sitting back and enjoying all this?
Yeah.
One
You-
more for me is in a question or.
Yeah, explanation, whatever. Do you really not know much about the thing I'm not allowed to talk about?
Yeah. I mean, far as I know, it's always been a thing, but nobody else seems to have it as a thing, so,
None of your family, none of the people around where you were born.
shrugs. Dunno.
Or no child prophecy picked up by a clergy.
Nah. No clergy around where I remember, at least.
And you've never looked into it.
Is there anything to look into?
It doesn't just happen with normal people.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. That's why I'd rather just keep it quiet.
Yeah, it's fine, but would you not want to know if it meant something? You keep it close to your chest, but it seems to be the only reasons you don't know what it means.
Probably doesn't mean anything.
Then what's the issue on hiding it?
Look, some people are born with weird, freaky magic.
And sometimes you can trace it back to a family member being a dragon.
Or a demon.
Eh,
There's a lean over. We're getting back to you in a second.
there's not much tracing to be done, honestly.
Do you not care?
She just kind of shrugs again. Look, I'm not like you. I don't have some fancy heritage or bloodline stretching back whatever generations. I'm just nobody from nowhere.
That's all the more reason to ask then. You're holding a symbolism, a look. I would think you know, judging from the understanding of certain things we share. You're emulating something, and that's not something to be taken lightly. Wolves on this any sort of forest or anything you can find. They embody something, but they're not that uncommon. Spirits go around and stuff like that. Still, it's not the wildest thing. Here you are walking like a ticket to the other side. And you're just nobody from nowhere.
You're looking for answers I don't have. And frankly, they're things that I don't think can be answered.
I think you're quitting too early. you've got any relation to that. That's in my interests.
Oh, why? Do you think that if I've got a relation to that, that means that what? I can give you a free ride or something? I don't think that's how that works.
Nah, I'm earning that myself, but let's You know what? You gave me one more. Here's your one more. It wouldn't be the first time something in my bloodline is made a visit and come back. Taking a bit of a souvenir. I've been looking into it, searching any which way for the little pieces that remain from oh so long ago, and here you are standing.
Well, that'd be a hilarious irony if I had anything to do with your family.
It's not the family, it's that whole process. You just happen to be a bit of a gatekeeper, or at least representative of one.
Well, sorry to say it, but I'm probably useless if I'm a gatekeeper or representative of one, but don't seem to know where I'd place the frickin' key.
Let's find it together, alright? He puts a glass up.
Just don't be disappointed if this path leads nowhere.
Wouldn't be the first one.
Should put a glass up as well in that case.
Alright, and spins around. What was that? Looks at Nemia.
Sorry?
Who are you? Who's your family line?
Oh, weren't we over there? And I'll point to Lena. I can play fortune teller even if you'd like to know a bit more. Probably not good, since I have to ask some favors, but
He just like taps on the top. Where'd you get the horns?
well, it's uncertain. Even to this day, they say it's demonic heritage. I tend to trust them with that.
No one care about the freaking family line. Ugh.
I told
Okay,
you, not all of us come with a fancy pedigree. Where most of us are mutts.
Maybe if you held some pride in it, you would.
Aw, you love your fancy jeweled collar, is that what it is?
You love a if you love a story,
You
I'll
can
give
see on
you
her
one.
face that it's pure teasing. She doesn't actually mean it.
Yeah, he gives a look around and is like, you're gonna have to try harder than that.
Good thing I'm not actually trying.
If you're looking for a heritage with a little bit of flourish, I'll give it to you. Okay. What about a deal with the devil, a fight with the bard, and me being the result of it? Is that good enough for you, heritage wise?
Now, is that a story you're spinning, or are you actually telling?
I don't know. You told me.
I asked you.
Insight.
Yeah, the one for me.
That's only 13. Might be a story.
Nope. He is drunk.
All right. I'll leave that up to you what they gather from that.
I'll say it mockingly, but I'll try to hint that it's true. Like, I'll lean in, raise my eyebrows.
No shit then.
I told you, Petro was my teacher. I
And
basically my parents, for some reason, I'm still can't figure, which might be my. I might look into it in the future if it troubles me, but at the moment, never mind. They somehow they. Sorry. Oh, I get a cough, but it's not coming. There we go. They somehow dealt with the devil. Um, shit went sideways. And I was literally the spawn of the devil. Might might have been asking for me.
Wait, so you had a mom and a dad, but also the spawn of a devil?
Yeah, let's say Dante and Maya dealt with the devil, but when the devil came, they weren't so sure about it and were happy to leave me be with Petro after he saved us all.
Well, I'm gonna have to have each of you track down your family lines.
Good luck.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's 9 circles downstairs, so I'd be happy to stay on top of the
Sounds like a
world.
fun trip.
Circles downstairs. I love it.
Like I said, it's about the point of pride, not the fancy jeweled necklace.
Hmm.
Ugh. Well, I'm done here.
Yeah, we should probably head back before it gets too late.
Unless you want to start something. You kind of like glances around the bar.
With you in that state, not even worth it.
You want to die
Should get up
again?
and pay.
Not just with you. He's kind of like gives a like head tilt to the biggest guy in the room.
What's the biggest guy in the room look like? How big?
He looks not even close to a challenge.
Eh,
Yeah, no.
nah.
She looks like an average run of the mill, like probably maybe like a shop or something of that nature. He doesn't do a lot of manual work all day.
I don't think he'd last even a punch.
He kind of like narrows his eyes. I can't get a good look at him really, so alright, sure. He gets up.
And they'll head back. Maybe a little wobbly.
Yeah, Killian like stumbles for a second, just like falls on light.
You are able to stumble your way back and find your way to your rooms.
And as if we
And
pass
turn-
Bastion at any point, there's a point towards him and a slightly slurred, next time is your turn. And then off to the room.
He's probably as straight edge as he makes his blades. He heads back to his room.
Yep, so you're able to turn it. Get your long rests in.
I'm back to
Awoken
full.
to the.
I imagine Bastion's just sitting there, like, having a discussion with Coco, like, well, I mean, like, I could sharpen. I don't think. Like, I know you say you don't need that knife sharpened, but, like, he could use a good sharpening.
Oh god. This is why you tick off craftspeople.
Look, I'm not saying it's not a functional knife. I want to do him a favor.
This is exactly why.
So-
Is everyone in the room while this is happening?
Well,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. This is
Does
just
this-
doing it, like, casually.
Next morning, or
yeah. So, sorry, I was chewing. You all awake to the smell of food, as most of you have probably slept in a little bit, except for Bastion.
and also to the sound of Bastion getting kicked out of the kitchen furiously.
Pretty much, yep.
Cause tell me how to do my job, why don't you?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It is a good, solid breakfast. Everyone does join.
Eggs are inhaled.
Mhm. as it gets closer towards the end of eating, it's had a good portion of their meal, L'Oreal once again will stand up and address everyone and say, "Okay, so today there
You should get a
are
podium.
There's a stage right there.
today there are." She continues. Today there are some friendly competitions taking place at the Wide Green and the Storm Hill. I think we
So
should
what time
attend.
does it start?
About midday is when they.
Well, we should get going. We're gonna be late.
Well, judging for the time, you probably have a couple hours, but
Oh, I
it
know.
will
That's
ta-
just excited.
yeah, it will take an hour to get there. That is not a untrue statement. Yep, there will be competitions of strength and endurance, and I think it'll be right up your guys'.
Well, that'll be fun, she says, speaking deliberately loudly and very much indirectly in Killian's, like, in Killian's direction.
It's like a glance over. Got something to say.
How hungover is he?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably
too.
not.
Okay.
Dude's meaty.
Dang.
That's
Hmm.
His
Dude's
blood
meaty and Nordic.
his blood has regenerated enough that it cleared it out of the system.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, right? Is he had so little blood, he didn't actually drink a whole lot last night, but it affected him a lot. Now that it's back.
Ah,
Bastion just turns to Killian and goes,
You held
"Yeah,
it-
he's just got a
you
good,
held it
healthy,
better than I
competitive
thought."
spirit."
There's a glance over to like Bastion, like, what the fuck did you just say to me?
You've got a good, healthy, competitive spirit. You know, the heart of a good man.
He like shoots a glance to like everyone else in the room, like, am I hearing this right?
Laura's like, okay, before this goes anywhere, everyone should gather their things, and we'll get going and head over there. And she like shoot daggers at the both of you, like.
Bastion's just like, Bastion's gonna the pressure, like, I'm trying.
Killian gives a glance over to L'Oreal. It's like, you are ridiculously transparent with your attempts here.
She just shrugs again. Hey, gotta make it work somehow.
Is there a sack race we should be expecting or what?
You'll find out.
what's a
Oh,
sack
come on,
race?
Killian.
All right, and we're actually gonna have to call it there.
Okay.
Sure
Alright.
thing.
No chance we can do
Oh.
5 minutes just for Bastion to give Killian the knife.
Oh,
Start a
make it
next
quick.
session. Okay.
Oh no, we'll do it next session. Wife will not like it if I continue.
Okay.
Okay.
Someone please remind me, because I will forget.
Okay.
Type in the chat.
I'm
Nice.
making a note.
Alrighty,
Until next
Alright.
time.
till next time, guys.
Until next time.
Woo!